Hello, my name is Nicholas Snow, and today we're going to be talking about how to compete in car audio. Before we get to the video, I want to say thank you guys for showing support on my last videos. Let's keep it going. Don't forget to share the videos when you find them interesting or helpful. Don't forget to drop suggestions down in the comment section so I know what videos you guys want to see next. Like I said, we've been showing some great support on the previous video, so I can definitely thank you guys for that. We've passed 200 subscribers, so we're definitely trending in the right direction. I just want to get my content out to more people so everyone can have the knowledge about car audio, and I want people's questions to be answered. So again, drop them down below and we'll make sure to get to them either in a video or I'll make sure and type out a response to you. So without further ado, let's head into the video. First off, what we're gonna start with is, what does it mean to compete in car audio? So first off, you're gonna be looking at joining or competing in a certain league or organization. And what that means is there's different organizations around the country and the world that host these car audio competitions. Some bigger names are Iasca, DB Drag, MECA, just to name a few. And they host events all around the country that you can go to and you can compete against other people at these events. And what it looks like to compete, there's a couple different categories and divisions that you can be a part of. I'll make sure to, in the comment section, drop maybe a link to one of the organization's kind of rule books to just give you an idea of what you can expect when you go to a competition that they host. I compete in car audio competitions, and I'll put a video up of some of the awards that I've won, and I've won them all through MECA, which is the competition that is predominantly in my area. But when you get to these competitions, there is going to be different divisions that you can get into depending on what kind of system you have or what kind of competition you want to compete in. So there's three main competitions that you would compete in. One would be SPL, which is just how loud you can get. The second would be dueling demos. That's actually more on the sound quality side, not so much how loud you can get, but how nice of a sound you're getting all around from door speakers, mid-range, subwoofers, everything combined, where SPL is just on the sub frequencies. So when you're doing dueling demos, you're gonna go head to head against somebody in your division, and then finally you're going to be just looking at sound quality itself, where you're having a judge sitting in your vehicle and putting a CD in or plugging a flash drive in and listening to a specific set of songs. And what they're going to do is listen to that specific set of songs across many different vehicles, so they have a flat test, to work with to judge the sound quality of your vehicle on. So once you actually pick what competition you want to be a part of, you have to see what division you're in. So the divisions are divided up generally by how much power you're running in your system and what your cone area looks like with your current setup. So obviously your cone area will be higher the more subs you have or the bigger subs that you have. So, 12s versus 15s. Two 15s is going to have a larger cone area than two 12s. So that might get you pushed into a different division than somebody with two 12s. But the divisions are broken up generally by power and cone area, because you don't want somebody that has, two 15s like myself versus somebody with, four 18s. Like, obviously, on average, the power output is going to be a lot higher with those 418s. So the SPL, or the sound pressure level, is going to go up, and obviously they're going to get a greater score than you. So it's not fair. So they kind of have those divisions to break them down. So you're competing against people that are actually near the system that you currently have. You don't, want to be competing against, somebody that has a ridiculous system, 10-15s or something like that. It's just not going to be fair. No fun for anyone. But once you get in your division and you pick what you want to compete in, let's just use SPL, for example, again, sound pressure level, how loud you can get. Once you decide you want to compete in that and you see what division you're in, they rank you obviously from first to however many people are competing by what dB you get, or decibel level that you get inside the vehicle. Now each different organization is going to have a different spot where they put the sensor that tests the dB output of your system. Some organizations put it in the kick panel. Some organizations put it on the front windshield. Some organizations put the sensor at the headrest. It really just depends. As far as MECA goes, they have kind of like a thing that sits on the chair or on the seat of your passenger or driver side seat, and the sensor comes up to the headrest. Generally speaking, your scores are going to be higher in the kick than at the headrest, but obviously when you go to a certain organization, everybody is going to be judged the same, so it really won't make a difference when you're at the same competition with the same organization. But if you're looking online and comparing your scores to other people, example like when you're a part of Team Bass Outlaws, people will share their scores. They'll have a score list just kind of showing where everyone's at with their current builds. But a big thing is, was that score taken in the kick or was it taken at the headrest? But once you, like I said, pick your competition, see what division you're in, and you see what your decibel output is, you'll get ranked one from however many competitors there are, and then they go, and obviously if you're first, you win first, second, you win second, and so on. So it's pretty easy once you understand what's going on, and when you get there, they are more than helpful as far as helping you get into the lane, helping you get wired up to compete as well. Because what they're gonna do to match or see what your decibel output is and to see what kind of power you're drawing, they actually have clamps and that go around your power wires that are going to your amp. The reason for that is anyone can say, oh, I'm running 2,000 watts at 1 ohm. Okay, that's just what your word is. So what they actually do is have a system hooked up, and for MECA they have a TV that you can see what kind of power you're pushing, because like I said, the different divisions are divided up by your power and your cone area. So if the division says nobody over 2,000 watts, let's say, then if you go over that 2,000 watts, you are disqualified and your score does not count for that division because you went over the maximum power you could have for that division. So to test that, like I said, they use those clamps that go around your power wire into your amp, and you can see a real-time projection of what kind of wattage you're pushing to make sure you stay under that. There are a couple other stipulations when you're looking at divisions that are a little nitty-gritty. I can drop the rule book down below for MECA is concerned, but there's things like if you're running in a division like a basic division, it might be just saying that your box and your subs cannot go above your back seat. So the height of your back seat, your box and your subs cannot go above that. Some say that they have to be further than 12 inches from the top of the ceiling. So it really just depends. You want to make sure you look up the rules in the rule book for whatever organization you're competing in before you go, so you know where you're going to stand, because you don't want to get there and think, oh man, I'm going to be in this division, and set everything up for that division, and then you get bumped to a different division because, let's say, oh, I didn't know my subs had to be below my back seat. I've seen people run into that, and then they get bumped into a higher division, and they're losing, and they're like, oh man, that's not fair. Well, if you would have looked at the rule book before, you would have seen it. But again, there are a lot of rules and it's hard to stay up on it. And you can always ask the judges there, and they will give you, the rules, and they'll inspect your vehicle and give you the final word on what division you're in. Obviously, if you say you're in one, the judges say you're in another. Obviously, the judges are going to decide what you're in. So you want to make sure you're following those rules so you're competing in the right division. As far as cost goes for the event, there are sometimes costs that go into running. So each run that you do is going to cost. So sometimes that cost can be $15, $10, $30. It just depends. And usually they're going to let you know on the flyer or the website on how much it's going to cost. And it's going to be on a per category basis. So say you want to do dueling demos, which is going head to head against somebody for sound quality overall. That's going to be one price. And if you want to do SPL or sound pressure level, that's going to be another price. So it really just depends on how many events you're going to be running in. So you want to definitely make sure that you have enough money to run in all the events, because all the ones that I've been to at least are cash only. And a lot of people might not know that, so you want to make sure that you're bringing cash to these events so you can compete and you're not stuck. A lot of events also offer what, quote unquote, like a rerun or a buyback. So if you're in the line and you don't like your score and you want to run again, you can pay, X amount of dollars and run again to kind of get yourself a better score. But that's really dependent on the event. So you want to double check with the judges before thinking that you automatically get a rerun if you, give them $10 or $5 or whatever. For finding these events, what I do a lot of the times is I check my team's page, Team Bass Outlaws. They post a lot of events on there. Since we have people all around the country, we're getting events posted on there all the time, so it's easy to stay up with it. For example, like MECA, if you go to the MECA website, you can actually see all the events they have listed, around the country, and sometimes even outside the country, I believe. So you can, say I live in, Kentucky or Florida. I want to see what events there are going to be this year in Florida. So you can see, how many points the event is worth, because there's a times 1, 2, 3, 4 multiplier for MECA depending on the size of the event or where it's held. You can, like I said, see where it's held, see the dates for it. So it is very nice to have that website to kind of break down all the events, just so you can stay in touch and not miss an event, because it is easy to miss one if you don't know. There might be an event 30 minutes from your house, but you don't know, and you're like, oh man, I was just sitting at home, I could have went to that event. But it's good to definitely stay up and check on the website or check social media outlets. Like Facebook is really, really big for the car audio community. So you want to make sure that you're regularly checking Facebook, or you're checking the organization's website or social media page directly, because they will post events there. So that's going to be the easiest way to stay up on the latest events. I want to thank you guys for watching the video. If you found the video helpful, please drop a like and subscribe to stay updated on my newest videos that I release. Don't forget to share it if you think that somebody else can benefit from the information that I gave out. I'm hoping that the 2021 season has a lot more events to go around. We were definitely hurting for events this year, but I think we'll bounce back and definitely have a better season with more events and bigger turnouts than ever, because people are so deprived of the events from last season. So until next time, I'm out.